Who else wants to learn the female orgasm technique so intense it'll make her chemically dependent on having sex with you?
Hi, I'm Playboy and Penthouse model Krista Ann.
And I'm adult model and suicide girl Leanne. And in the next 6 minutes, we're going to essentially slap the face of every magazine article, sex advice expert, and washed up porn actor who's ever tricked you into thinking that without their help, you will never be an amazing lover. While trying to use weird contraptions and dangerous pills to increase the size of your penis is not only dangerous to your health, but also completely stupid.
And why exercising excessively so you are able to last all night long is a total waste of your time. By the end of this short presentation, you'll feel like you hold a magic remote that lets you easily control the sexual pleasure of your girlfriend, wife, or just the next lucky girl you bring home.
Regardless of how many years you and your lover may have been together, your possible lack of sexual experience, yes, this will even work if you're still a virgin.
Or even if you are certain that after sleeping with you, women have had a good laugh behind your back. But there is a catch.
The techniques we're going to teach you are very powerful, and we're going to be showing them to you with full demonstrations on each other.
Which means our web host is going to force us to pull this video offline very soon. So make sure to watch it all while you still can, because this may be your only opportunity.
And make sure you pay close attention to the secret we're going to reveal to you at the very end of the video, because it's not only going to completely shock you, but also make you rethink everything you probably believe about women and sex. Trust us, you're not going to want to miss it.
Listen, you've probably noticed over the past few years that more and more women have been proudly coming out as bisexual or simply admitting that they enjoy fooling around with other women from time to time. The reason for this isn't because they want to try and impress guys by showing off at parties or on the dance floor. And it certainly isn't because the idea of going home with men is no longer appealing. It's because women are simply better in bed than 99% of all guys out there. We know each other's bodies so well that anytime I squirm, moan, or grab at the sheets, she knows exactly what to do next to take that amazing sensation completely over the top. While on the other hand, most men just flop around for a few minutes, shoot their load, and then get us drenched in their sweat before rolling over and passing out. So is it any wonder why more and more women every day are happy to go home with each other, while you are left with nothing but a bottle of lotion and your internet porn collection? This is also why women quickly become sexually addicted to the rare kind of guy who actually knows what he's doing and can fully sexually satisfy us. Well, in just a moment, we're going to reveal to you an incredibly odd secrets that will turn you into virtually any woman's fantasy lover almost immediately and transform you into her one-night stand dream every night.
But first, you need to hear a quick story about the night that everything I believed about sex changed forever. And I realized that absolutely any guy out there has the potential to be the kind of amazing lover most women only ever read about in romance novels. I remember touching down at the Los Angeles International Airport with the guy I was dating at the time, Darnell. We were in LA because Darnell was going to try out for the Lakers, and I wanted to support him. Well, almost immediately he started treating me like complete crap. At first I thought it was because he was nervous about his tryouts, but it just kept getting worse. He was insulting me in public, disrespecting my family, and pretty much just being straight up jackass. One night I decided I had enough, and I stormed out. I got my friends Emily and Samantha, and we went out to a nightclub to shake our butts and forget about that loser ex-boyfriend of mine. While we're on the dance floor, this guy named Tom approached me and offered to buy me a drink. We got to talking, and he turned out to be a really nice guy. However, he was skinny as a twig and about 2 inches shorter than me. And coming from dating a 6'8", very well-built man, this new guy was not exactly what I was used to. But we kept dancing all night, and after my 8th or 9th shot of tequila, Emily and Samantha finally convinced me to get back at Darnell by going home with Tom. We got back to his place, and as the clothes started coming off, I thought that maybe Tom had a bit too much to drink, since he was quite a bit smaller than I was expecting down there. And from the looks of it, I couldn't tell if he even had an erection or not. By this point, I was starting to have second thoughts about sleeping with him, but I decided to go through it anyway. And holy crap, am I glad that I did. Tom knew exactly how to use what God gave him to make each and every position feel more amazing to me than it ever had before. Look, every penis in the world, no matter the size, shape, or even the angle of the erection, has the potential to make your favorite positions feel mind-blowingly orgasmic, as long as you're aware of what you're doing. In Tom's case, his erection was not only pointing downwards, but also curved a bit to one side. When we were getting down and dirty, I got into a doggy style position, and he had me spread my legs out wider, get lower down towards the bed, and stretch one of my legs out to the side. Doing this allowed Tom's penis to easily stimulate my G-spot in a way I've never felt before. The orgasm I had from that alone was something I'll remember for the rest of my life. Plus, since this was a brand new variation on one of my all-time favorite positions, the entire sensation was exciting and a lot of fun. And considering he was able to achieve the same amazing effect from every position we used, is there any wonder why I simply couldn't get enough of him? By simply knowing the positions and the variations of those positions that complement your body and your lover's body best, you are now able to provide her with the kind of toe-curling, sheet-ripping pleasure she's never experienced before. Every thrust you deliver will make her body feel as though you have the absolute best cock in the world for her. The master key to her ultimate sexual satisfaction. But there's one more piece of the puzzle you'll need to be aware of if you truly desire to become her fantasy lover.
When Leanne returned home from Los Angeles, she came over to my apartment to catch up, and like usual, the conversation very quickly turned to sex. She told me all about Tom and his amazing skills in bed. And I had to admit, I was a bit jealous. For the last few months, I was only sleeping with women since the sex is almost always much better. Women are more turned on by fantasy and how you can stimulate our imaginations more than anything else. For us, it's all about the journey. The sex is just the icing on the cake. Unfortunately, hardly any men in the world realize this. Instead, they'll say something cheesy like, "Baby, I'm gonna leave you sore for a week." Spend 5 minutes on foreplay, and then pound away until they are out of breath and ready to finish. Then, after the guy has collapsed on the bed, I've got to clean myself off and bring him a glass of water before he passes out. Gee, I wonder why a lot of women are starting to prefer each other over men.
So that night, Krista and I had an amazing idea. We wanted to take all of the incredible foreplay and fantasy building skills that the best female lovers in the world use
and fuse them with the unbelievable sex skills that only the super rare guys like Tom have. These are the same skills that makes us totally and completely sexually addicted to you right from the very first minute.
Think about it. Once you've mastered these two areas, you'll be your woman's sexual fantasy every time you're together. Because she'll know that there is no one else alive who can give her more sexual pleasure than you just did. And after a full year of nonstop planning and hard work, we are finally ready to open the doors and allow you to join a small group of students dedicated to not just becoming an amazing lover, but transform yourself into the man that most women would fight for the chance to be with.
Whether you're single and looking to have fun with countless young ladies,
been in a long-term committed relationship for a number of years and wanted to give your lover the kind of incredible sex she deserves,
or anywhere in between.
You're about to take the combined sexual knowledge and techniques of some of the greatest living lovers and download their skills directly to your brain.
Right away, we're going to reverse engineer just about every single one-night stand that's ever happened. This will let us walk you through a dead simple step-by-step system for bringing virtually any woman home with you faster than you ever thought possible.
When we first uncovered this secret equation, we ended up sharing it with a few dozen of our adult industry friends, and they each agreed 100% that this is exactly what's led to all the one-night stands they've had. We're also going to show you a special massage technique that you should use when you see her wearing a particular article of clothing. Knowing this shortcut will turn her entire body into putty in your hands.
Next, you're going to discover how to use 20 seemingly innocent words you probably say all the time in a specific way that when done correctly will make her panties dripping wet for you and send her libido into overdrive.
You're then going to learn how to use the power of her imagination to stop her from being able to concentrate on anything else other than having wild, uninhibited sex with you right then and there. This may also cause her to masturbate to the thought of what she's going to do to you next time you're around.
Now, no woman wants her friends and other people around her to think she's just some big slut who will sleep with anyone. On top of that, she definitely doesn't want to regret going back to your place or feeling as though you tricked her in some way. This means that her deciding to go home with you or not is almost always in jeopardy right up until the very last minute. So to help you overcome this obstacle each and every time, we're going to share with you exactly what to say and how to say it to give her the perfect excuses she needs to get down and dirty with you without ever looking bad in front of her friends or feel as if she's made a mistake. And the best part is, when done correctly, she will feel as if it was entirely her decision the whole time.
Finally, to make sure you're always prepared no matter what, we're going to include in our private guide to dirty text message mastery as a free bonus gift. We shared these secrets with a 34-year-old computer systems manager named David, and here's what he had to say.
Working with computers all the time doesn't leave me much time to go out and meet women, so when I started applying the seduction techniques in the fantasy love formula, it started to feel like I wasn't even trying. Women were just coming home with me anytime I wanted.
Everything we've just covered is going to be in the Module 1 of the Fantasy Lover formula. And now that you're going to have no problem getting her sex drive higher than yours, it's time to master some of the most amazing foreplay techniques she'll ever experience. Right away, you're going to discover a special kissing technique that makes her clothes practically melt off her body, as well as a trick to removing her bra with only 3 fingers, and what your other hand should be doing to further build her anticipation to the point where she will be happy to get naughtier with you than she has with anyone else before.
We're also going to show you several fingering techniques that will give her completely different and unique kinds of orgasms. Most women have only ever experienced one of these kinds. So when you're able to trigger each of them on their own, she's going to feel like you have a magic power over her sexual pleasure. And when we teach you how to combine them together, she's going to practically explode with one of the most intense kind of orgasms she's ever experienced. Be careful though, doing this too often may cause her to experience extremely emotional orgasms that most women are simply not prepared for.
Next, you're going to discover over a dozen incredible oral sex techniques that were given to us directly from the top bisexual and lesbian performers working in the adult industry today. And no, these aren't the techniques you see them use on film when they have a director telling them what to do. These are the techniques they use at home when they really want to give their lovers an experience they'll never forget.
We're also going to give you our candy store trick to make her taste like a different piece of delicious candy every time you go down on her. If you and your lover have been together for a long time, you're both going to love how this simple trick spices up your sex life. Then we're going to reveal to you the absolute best sex toys you can bring home to the bedroom to not only take the foreplay up to the next level, but also give her a special kind of orgasm that will actually trick her brain into wanting to get more wild and crazy with you than she's probably prepared for. And as a very special bonus gift, we're going to teach you a number of our absolute favorite sex games. These games were each designed to be simple to learn and will bring you hours of erotic fun in the bedroom. We shared these games with our friends Jason and Nancy, who have been married for 11 years. And here's what they said.
Hi, I'm Joseph, and after 11 years of marriage, me and my wife Nancy have kind of been stuck in the same routine in the bed for a long time. After watching the videos on foreplay and sex games now, we've realized that there's a lot more we can add to the bedroom. The sex has started feeling like it did when we first started dating again. It's absolutely amazing.
Now that we've covered how to make virtually any woman so hot and horny she won't be able to control her sexual desire for you, as well as a ton of the most orgasmic foreplay techniques she's ever experienced, it's time to really start having fun. Module 3 is all about transforming yourself into one of those rare, world-class lovers all women desperately crave. Remember a few moments ago when we discussed how simply knowing the positions and variations that work best for your body, any guy could learn how to make his cock feel like the most satisfying one in the world to just about any woman alive? Well, I hope you're ready to take notes, because you're going to discover over 50 amazing positions that were designed to get you those incredible results right from the very first time you use them.
But don't worry about feeling overwhelmed at any point. We'll be teaching you each of these positions with full demonstrations on each other. to make sure you can see exactly how to perform each one. Just some of what you're going to discover includes a simple alternative to the traditional missionary position that will make you feel so large inside of her that she'll still be feeling you up to 4 days later. The standing position that will show her you are in complete control of her sexual pleasure right from the very first thrust. Tiny changes to a number of the most common positions that will leave you both shaking with pleasure every time. You're also going to discover how to trigger her orgasm button. This is a simple technique that can easily double the intensity of the pleasure of each of her orgasms. And our patented tease, please, tease technique, which will awaken both of your bodies and allow you to feel much more anticipation and pleasure from your favorite positions than ever before. We're even going to tell you 3 things to say to her while she's orgasming, which will intensify her pleasure 250%, as well as a number of very specific thrusting rhythms, which can each give her completely different kinds of orgasms. Most men just thump away awkwardly, which will at best give a woman just one predictable and barely satisfying kind of orgasm. But after today, you will always keep her on her toes as to what kind of incredible release you choose to let her enjoy. Finally, we're going to give you a very special bonus. As part of Module 3, we're going to share with you the absolute best sex toys you can bring home to your bedroom. Teach you how to use them in ways that will give her the absolute most intense orgasms ever. And even reveal the least expensive place you've ever found for you to order these toys right in front of your door. When we let a 52-year-old factory worker named Carl get his hands on these training a few weeks earlier, here's what he thought about it.
Hi there, I'm 52, and at my age, I thought I'd heard everything there was about sex. But the way you girls have shown me how to modify my position is easily the best gift I've ever had to my wife. She's amazing. She is actually getting complaints from the neighbors because we're having so much fun that she's making a lot of noise, not just screaming, but it's some great stuff. And thanks.
Listen, above everything else, women need to experience variety and fantasy if you ever want to be thought of as an amazing lover. Mastering the incredible techniques we're going to be showing you in this fantasy lover formula is going to separate you from 99% of every other guy out there. You will fully understand what it takes to make just about any woman alive so hot and horny she won't be able to control her sexual desires for you.
You're also going to have the same sheet-tearing foreplay skills that the greatest bisexual and lesbian women on the planet use to give their lovers sexual experiences they never forget, as well as the hidden secrets about sex that so few men will ever find out, no matter your size, shape, age, stamina, or current level of sexual experience. You will ravage every inch of her body from head to toes and leave her lover laying in a worn-out, dripping wet, and giggling stupor, wondering how she's gone this long in life, never knowing sex could be like this. But now it's time to take things up a notch. Module 4 is all about bringing your hottest sexual fantasies into reality.
There's nothing that can kill a sexual relationship faster than going through the same old, boring routines in bed night after night. As we've already discussed, women crave variety and excitement more than anything else. And we're sure you do too. But when you're in a relationship for any amount of time, the sex can become more of a chore than an exciting romp. So we want to help and make sure that each of your sexual experiences are more fun and exciting than the previous one. If you've never indulged in sexual role play or fantasy, you don't know what you've been missing. The idea is to escape your everyday routines by stepping into the role of someone new. The more you let yourself go, the more real it becomes. And before you know it, you're gonna find yourself experiencing all the sexy situations you and your lover only just fantasize about.
Imagine how it's going to feel when you're the rich and powerful CEO of a large corporation and your secretary messes up a very important report you've been working on for weeks. Now she's going to have to make it up to you any way you instruct her to.
Or what about when the girl you're supposed to be tutoring in anatomy just simply isn't getting it? And you decide to come up with some creative new ways for her to learn all about how the body works.
And what's going to happen when the new neighbor who just moved in down the block needs some help around the house? Only she doesn't have any money to pay you. So it's up to you to figure out how she can compensate you for all the work you've done for her.
As much fun as scenarios like these can be, they involve a ton of tiny nuances you'll need to be aware of if you ever expect them to be as hot as you and your lover imagine.
But don't worry, because we're going to walk you through them all step by step and make it even more enjoyable. We've designed this module in such a way that you and your lover can watch it together and act it out alongside us. Or learn everything on your own and play the role of naughty teacher later that night when you surprise her.
Oh, and don't think that we're just going to be teaching you these 3 scenarios we just described for you. In fact, you're going to discover over a dozen hot and steamy fantasy games to enjoy. This way, you'll know that the sex will always be new and exciting, each and every time.
And as an added bonus for this module, we're going to be giving you something, our private guide to wild, rough, and kinky sex. In it, you're going to discover how to bring the sexual intensity up to an all-time high. When a young man named Robert got his hands on it, here's what he had to say.
Listen, my girlfriend is a freak in bed, and I've always been intimidated by her. But now that I got the fantasy formula down, I'm the one teaching her. And she even said the other day that I've become the best lover that she's ever had. So I can't thank you girls enough. Thank you so much.
Now that you've gotten a small taste of just some of the incredible techniques and secrets you're going to discover in the Fantasy Lover Formula, we want to ask you a serious question.
What would it be worth to you to know that you finally have the power to give virtually any woman on the planet the kind of sexual pleasures she's only ever dreamt of? How much would you pay to possess the skills of the greatest lovers alive starting today and for the rest of your life?
We don't want to sound like we're bragging or anything,
but we're not just some amateurs who are just here giving you the same old lousy advice you've seen in numerous magazines.
We are 2 of the highest requested trainers in the entire adult industry, and for good reason.
Over the years, we developed our skills as lovers and become known as some of the absolute best givers of pleasure in the entire world.
And now it's your turn to take our knowledge and experience and download it all right to your brain.
When we've taught the exact same system to our private clients in the past, we've charged up to $4,000 for just a single night of coaching.
And that didn't include any of the bonus gifts or continued follow-up coaching that would otherwise bring the total value up to over $4,400.
But we certainly don't want the price to be something that holds you back from enjoying a lifetime of love, romance, and passion you deserve.
We sat down with a friend of ours who's a marketing whiz at a major entertainment publishing company, and after reviewing our system, he said that we'd be stupid if we asked for anything less than $250 for it. In fact, we packed the Fantasy Lover Formula full of so many amazing tips, tricks, and techniques that we have no doubt we'd quickly sell out at that price.
But when you act right now, you're not going to pay anywhere near that price.
You're not even going to pay $125, which would be half that price. For a very limited time only, we want you to have the entire Fantasy Lover Formula for just $67.
We are so confident that you are going to see such a dramatic and wonderful change to your love life when you put our training into action that we are happy to offer you our better than money back guarantee.
If for any reason you are not completely thrilled with our coaching, simply send us an email to let us know within 60 days, and not only will we gladly refund every penny, but all 4 of the bonus gifts will be yours to keep for life.
All you have to do now is click the Add to Cart button to reach our secure order page where you can place your order.
Then you'll be able to customize it so you can make sure your training is fully tailored just to you.
It'll only take a few seconds, and once you do, you'll be taken to our private members area where you can access all of your training immediately.
This means you can start down your path to the amazing love and sex life you truly deserve in less than 2 minutes from now.
Okay, you've basically got 2 choices. If you're still watching this, it's because you're not satisfied with the amount of sexual pleasure you've been able to provide to your lover, and you want to make an immediate change.
So you can continue doing what you've always been doing, guessing at what your woman is fantasizing about in the bedroom and out.
If you made sure to take very careful notes, who knows, maybe you'll stumble upon the secret to keep the sex red hot, or you can let us take all the risk and take the information we've given you about every woman's needs for a variety, intensity, seduction, and fantasy, and choose this once-in-a-lifetime chance to learn our amazing techniques for satisfying every one of her needs and help her become sexually addicted to you.
You can't learn these techniques anywhere else, and you literally have nothing to lose. If you don't immediately start enjoying the most fun, exciting, and passionate sex of your life, or if you're just not 100% satisfied for any reason, just email us to let us know and we'll gladly refund every penny. You owe it to yourself and the woman you love to unlock your true sexual potential and start turning your fantasies and your desires into your reality.
And when you do, you're going to notice your whole world start to change. She's going to start looking at you differently, the same way the next lucky lady looks at James Bond in all of his movies, right before he throws her on the bed and gives her the most passionate night of sex she's ever experienced. And she won't be able to keep her hands off you. Once you're able to sexually satisfy her mind and body, your lover is going to know that there is no other man alive who is a better fit for her, and she's going to want to return the favor at every opportunity. But you can't learn this stuff anywhere else. It's only in our Fantasy Lover formula, all presented in simple to follow step-by-step videos that were designed so any man can learn these amazing techniques right from the very first night. So why wait another minute?
Join us and the other lucky selected few guys just like you who have already learned the secrets to transforming yourself into one of the greatest lovers on the planet and gotten to enjoy the most mind-blowing sex of their lives in the process.
Order the Fantasy Lover formula right now and start enjoying the incredibly passionate sex you've always desired. You owe it to yourself and your lover to start turning all your sexual fantasies into reality, beginning right now.
Remember, you've been missing out for far too long. And if you don't take action, it's only going to lead to more boring and unsatisfying sex.
Yet all of this can change the minute you start applying the instant satisfaction techniques you can only find in the Fantasy Lover Formula training course. Order the Fantasy Lover Formula right now and start enjoying the incredible and passionate sex life you and your lover have always desired.
Remember, if for any reason you're not completely satisfied within the first 60 days, just send us an email and we will gladly refund every penny.
Simply click the Add to Cart button below, complete the checkout process, and we'll see you on the other side.